So today we're very honored to have our speakers, Buddy Croft. He's the Executive Director for the Rhode Island Turnpike and Bridge Authority. And his presentation is going to be a coach's perspective on building our team to prepare for future highway funding and tolling. And
when interoperability started, it was like, oh, how are we going to get there? But now think about some of the things that have happened when the cell phones first came out. They couldn't talk to one another. They could. You get roaming charges, you choke an elephant. It costs so much to pay your bill. And they worked through it. We've worked through interoperability. We as an industry, just as the coach has to do the best of his ability to get that team to row in the same direction, to put the ball over the finish line, there are some things that we as an industry, we as transportation partners, we're all in this together, I think that we can focus on. Well, there are people sitting out here that have challenges in your industry. How are we going to fund DOTs? There's diminishing federal and state revenues. How are we going to service our motoring public in a cost-effective and safe fashion? How are we going to focus on the appropriate research and move it to practice? How are we going to move people efficiently? How are we going to build our roads and tunnels? How are we going to actually build our roads in a cost-effective way? How do we construct them to last longer than they currently do? How do we prepare our engineers in this changing world of mobility? How do we move commercial trucks? How do we do it safely and efficiently? How do we move our motoring public? We're all in this world of transportation together. In Rhode Island, we've recently had a challenge. And I spoke to some of my colleagues in the room that are very much aware of what's going on in Rhode Island. And our governor announced something recently called Roadworks. We have the 50th, we rank 50th in the country in terms of our bridges and our infrastructure. She went to a bold and innovative approach where commercial vehicles will be tolled potentially. Legislature passed it and they're moving that on, and there certainly was a lot of robust discussion in the state of Rhode Island and continues. And it had a lot of support, and there's certainly some detractors, and I get it, some are in this room, but we have to solve our infrastructure. And I talk about winning, and I said this, and I mean this. They keep score. You hear all the time, there's no I in team, but there's an I in winning. We all need to win. You all need to win in your individual professions, whatever they are. And guess what? We're all involved with mobility together. If we put our minds to it, I'll tell you, we can plot the future. We can have a real impact on the nation's infrastructure. And I hope that we can get to that point someday. So one of the things that I would hope that we can do, IBTTA would like to convene a meeting in November in DC. We'd like it to be after the election, but before Thanksgiving if possible. With people in this room, Pat and myself have met with 16 groups, and all transportation people. One of the things that, no matter what Congress says, and they have the best intentions. I've been involved with elective office. I'm sure some of the people here have been involved in the electoral process. They have good intentions. They really do. They don't have any money. We're going to have to come up with a way to fund the infrastructure, be it the states, whatever that may be, whatever that mechanism may be. But there's limited resources. And they're not going to solve it. We need a vision. Why don't we put the team together to solve that vision? We need to do this together collectively. We can get to where we need to be. It's a common goal. It's teamwork. You play to win. We're playing to look at the nation's infrastructure, and IBTTA would like to be part of that.